Well, good evening and welcome to the latest episode of Bronco Nation Live. And boy, are you guys in for a good show tonight. We know you were all waiting. See a ton of you in the chat already. Hello to Tim Kiley, Chris Byrne, Liz and Jewelry and Hall, Wild Raptor 2023, 512 Raptor, and the hundreds of others of you sitting on this live tonight in the chat. So great to have you. It's the moment you've all been waiting for. We finally get to talk to the Bronco brand manager, Matt Winter, who is joining us live here in just a few moments to answer all of your pressing questions. And boy, do you guys have a lot of them on all of the latest Bronco news, and there sure has been a lot. We have compiled questions from the Bronco Nation forums, from social media, from Bronco 6G, put them all together to ask him here tonight. So he's going to be answering all of those. And he is also going to be taking your questions live from the Super Chat. So if you would like to submit questions, you can use the box on the right-hand side of your screen. There's a Q&A box that should be highlighted in blue that you can submit your question. I will also be monitoring the Super Chat through the duration of the stream. So if you've got pressing questions, you can leave them there. Please keep them respectful. We understand there's sensitivity and frustration. We too are frustrated, but please keep them appropriate and respectful so we can get to as many questions in as quick of a time period as possible. But before that, we have another very special guest joining us tonight. For a while now, we have been talking about the Bronco fender badges. We've been teasing you guys about these for a couple months, and we have some very exciting news to share with you, and a very special guest who lets you know just what that news is. So CEO and creative director of RMD Garage, Ralph Holguin, is joining us tonight. Everybody, please give a warm welcome to Ralph Holguin. Ralph,
Hey,
my
what's
friend,
going
how's
on?
it going?
Good. How are you? How is Bronco Nation? Good to be here.
We are great. Thank you so much for joining us. For those of you not aware, Ralph Holguin is a man of many talents. He has his shop, RMD Garage, in Long Beach, California, where they build absolutely beautiful classic cars and have now gotten into more modern cars, too, with Urban Madness 2.0 that debuted at SEMA. And those are just a few of the things among many that he does, from TV shows and appearances to auto shows, events, and many things in between. Ralph has done it all, and so we are very grateful that he's taken some time out of his busy schedule to join us tonight and show us his latest creation and give you all news. But considering it is in the merch field, I'm going to turn it over to London. And London, why don't you take it away from here?
All right. Yes, we are super excited to finally be announcing the launch of the Bronco Nation fender badges, the Bronco badges for all the trims and everything that you guys are looking for. Ralph, I'm going to pass it over to you and let you talk about your vision behind this and what people can expect.
So thank you guys. Thank you so much for the introduction and obviously all the great. It's really good working with you guys in this amazing partnership. You know, when we were privy enough to understand what Bronco was going to feel like and look like, that's one of the things that really kind of stood out for us was how can we make this badge even different and better, and how can we stick with the existing branding. And I know everybody went to the script. Trust me, I love the script, but this badge again was something that we really wanted to obviously make it as strong as possible because of this beautiful Bronco that we all own, and make it as easy as possible to install, and of course make it feel like you received this amazing jewelry that just came in. So we're really excited about it, and the vision really came to life, and working with the licensing team gave us an opportunity to really test fit it and see how it would work, and now we're here, so we're really excited.
Yes, absolutely. Can you talk a little bit about what the customers are going to be receiving? Like what all comes in the box, what all, instructions, all of that?
Yeah. So again, everything was thought out, and I know you guys will get a chance to see it on the website, but we wanted to utilize all the touches of elegance. Really, we want to celebrate that beautiful badge. So you're going to get this beautiful black box that you're going to want to keep forever. It's going to sleeve out. You're going to have, whether you order just the normal Bronco badge or you order the one that obviously fits your vehicle, again, they will be right there. You'll have instructions on how to install that. As soon as you slide it open, you're going to see obviously our RMD Garage logo, custom designed by Ralph Holguin, and then you'll flip it over and you'll have all the instructions on how you're able to apply that. It's going to come already preset with all your 3M adhesives, which is super important. We don't want you to have to cut out anything. It's going to be easily for you to mount it. Jordan has done it onto our his marketing Bronco, and it just was so easy. So you're going to start to see it kind of go on different Broncos, and that's really our testament of these really cool builds. Now, that being said, we talked about the Blackwood generic one. You'll be able to get that. That's obviously just going to be the Bronco standalone logo. And then you're going to have the one, whether it's Wild Track or Badlands. Again, it's really meant to fit your vehicle. And those will come in a beautiful, beautiful black with a gray. The gray is the one that matches all your trim, your top. So again, you have the option to paint it or obviously customize it as you see fit. I know that a lot of you will do your own little twist on it, but this is going to be a really cool badge. It sits right on your fender. You'll have a left and a right. And again, the spacing is all set up, but if you want to mess with it a little bit, we were really methodical on the spacing, so we wanted to give you the touches, and again, be as anal as possible, so that you can install it fairly quickly. We've also ran it through the car washes. We've done a lot of stuff to make sure it doesn't catch. But again, the finish is also so awesome. It's all oven baked, and again, it's going to be really strong for you to see. And then if you do put a little scratch on it, don't worry, it polishes right up.
Awesome. Yes, thank you for sharing. I did see one question. Some people are asking if it is sold in a set or individually, and it is sold as a set.
Yeah, it is sold in a set. Again, they're very durable. This is not anything that's really flimsy. It's a very amazing steel that you're going to get. You're going to have, again, the generic one, just with the Bronco branding, or the one with that corresponds to your vehicle. And again, they're nice and heavy, really meant to last for a long time. Some of you are going to obviously not want to stick them onto your car, use them for other reasons. We love that. I think that's going to be very unique. And again, the foam inside, they're all inside die cut to make sure that they fit perfectly well when they travel over to you. So we'll be making sure everything is perfect. The Bronco Nation team, our partnership, and they'll be making sure that everything is perfect before it gets to your door, including making sure that you get a beautiful black, not dented, not creased box.
Yes, we are very excited. And these are now live in the gear store, so you guys can go ahead and shop that. If you click on the accessories tab, there's a drop down that says badges. So that is where you can find all of that, and it's ready to go. They are pre-order, so you guys can go ahead and check out now, and then we'll send you an email that has, the shipping timeline and everything like that. So, Jordan, do you want to tell them really quickly about how long it took you to install?
Yeah, we're super excited about these, Ralph. Thank you so much for giving us a little bit of the insight into what went in to create these badges. The install is super easy. Took me about 5 minutes to install this set, and yes, they do come in a set. The instructions will be very clear and simple. They'll be included in the box, so you guys can do it, and we can't wait to see them on vehicles around the country. As London mentioned, they are available for pre-order right now. You can also click the link in the description of this live stream and head over to buy them. We're initially launching with 5 variations: the generic Bronco only wording with no trim series, and then the 4 most popular trim series thus far from 21, 22, and then into 23, which is Wild Track, Badlands, Outer Banks, Big Bend, Black Diamond. Is there 5? 4? 5?
Yeah, there's 6 with Black Diamond
6.
and Badlands.
Okay.
Yes.
Black Diamond, Badlands, Outer Banks, Wild Track, generic Bronco, and Big Bend. Yeah.
Yep.
So you can go and order those now. If all goes well, we will be expanding to more trims in the future, as well as more custom color options. The generic Bronco lettering is $150, and the lettering with the trim series on it is $195. They are made of solid aluminum, so they're hefty, they're metal, they're high quality, they look really nice. They're going to last for a long time. They're not the chintzy plastic that you find on Etsy. And they are also Ford licensed and approved, so you are buying a officially Ford licensed. A lot of the badges out there are not Ford licensed, not Ford approved, and these are the first we think the first and possibly the only Ford licensed badges that you can buy. So go ahead and get yourself a set of these. We're really excited about them. Ralph, thank you so much to you and your team for all the hard work you have put into these. We really appreciate it and are excited to see badges on cars. The green Bronco that does sport these badges will be at King of the Hammers in just a few short weeks from now. And so if you are coming, you'll be able to see the badges in person. And for those asking, Raptors and whatnot, badges may be coming for those Everglades, but we're just launching with this initial 6. But you can still get the generic Bronco script. That's totally cool too. So thank you, Ralph, so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. It was great seeing you, great having you on. Thank you again for your time, and we look forward to having you on the stream again here in the future.
Yeah, no, thank you guys so much. And the course community, I can't wait to see what you guys do with these. Can't wait to see images. Please, please, please tag us. And I cannot wait to see all the different customization that you guys do with them. And obviously celebrate and go buy them, go order them. Yes.
For sure.
Let's keep it going. So thank you guys. Appreciate it. Yep.
Of course. Thank you, Ralph. Have a great week.
Thank you.
For all of those commenting on the bit rate, we know it's laggy, where this is an issue that pops up every now and again. Trust me, I am not stoked about it. We're working through some different technology to try and avoid this issue in the future. So we will get this resolved, and we appreciate the patience. Hopefully the audio is good. You can at least hear what we're saying, because arguably that's more valuable than looking at our faces. I do want to give a big thank you and shout out to Mitch Watts from Town & Country for his super chat donation, and also All Terrain Nations for their super chat donation. Really appreciate both of you guys. ATN said sad days with the red Bronco. Yes, if you didn't see our post on Instagram and Facebook, we want to take a moment of silence to appreciate and thank Amber for her service. She was a tried and true and trusted member of the Bronco Nation team, and she will be missed greatly. Yes, we will miss her too. We love her dearly. 40,000 miles. She went from coast to coast to Florida Keys, all across the United States, up to Utah, California, Arizona, Texas, you name it. She has crisscrossed this nation. For many of you, it was your first meetup or your first time seeing a Bronco, and now we pay tribute to her, and she's actually behind London. So London, thank you for doing the honors.
She's right here.
Shepherding Amber as she takes her last final journey to the stars home. So enough of that chip issue. Maybe these stupid MacBooks and Google Wi-Fi ain't doing it, but glad the audio is good, because that's the most important part. Okay. Now we're getting closer to the time you have all been waiting for, which is, it was the world's first Bronco with 37s. That's true. The world's first 6th-gen Bronco. Took it over to Mitch at Town & Country in Birmingham, and without a lift or anything, we shoved 37s in there on a non-Sasquatch Bronco, which was a mighty good time. Mitch has got a great video on that over on his channel, Town & Country TV, if you want to check that out after the stream. But as I was saying, getting closer to the moment you've all been waiting for, Matt Winter live to answer all your questions. But first, for those of you not caught up on the Bronco news, which it sounds like most of you are, Laura is going to brief us a little bit on just the casual stuff that's been going on in the Bronco world. Laura?
Sure. So most of you guys know this already. This shouldn't be a surprise. We've got a lot of people who joined the live stream specifically to hear from Matt on this. Not this last Saturday, but the Saturday before, news broke that Ford was going to be making some changes for their unscheduled orders for 2023. And as more news and rumors came out, we started getting the full story. But thank you so much to all those in the community who could talk on this early from personal experience. We had Gremlin, we had Ragnar Khan, we had LED, and then over on 6G, obviously we've got some crossover. We had Alpha One Silverback, Beach Bum, and Peugeot, of course. A lot of you guys had inside information, and you were working through helping the community understand what was going on, and just reporting what you were hearing from your dealers, what you were seeing online, what you know from just experience working with Ford in the past. Also, we had Mitch Watts, of course, make a video. We had All Terrain Nation do one. Tim Bartz from Long MacArthur. So just all these people keeping the community in the best information that they knew at that point and could give, from just being dealers and being, again, people who live and breathe this. So again, not much of this is new to you, but then we decided that we needed some more clarification on some areas. So Matt is here to join us. The things that we're going to talk about, obviously, are Wild Tracks being asked to consider switching to Big Bend, Outer Banks, Badlands, remove Mick Hardtop, Lux Package, Sasquatch. Obviously, there's some things that don't apply to all vehicles, like you're not taking those off of Heritages, you're not taking the hardtop off of a two-door, things like that. So we'll get Matt on here and we will start going over some of the questions. We're going to start with the Ford FAQs. You guys have all seen those on ford.com/support. An excellent resource for being able to point your dealer to things. Again, a lot of these dealers already know this information, but if you just want something in writing, you can go to ford.com/support. So we'll have Matt on and we'll start on those, and then we'll get all to the stuff in the super chat.
Yes, there are, wow, a lot of questions in the Q&A. As I mentioned at the beginning of this, if you're just joining us, Laura mostly has compiled a list of questions along with some of the moderators from Bronco 6G, from Bronco Nation, and a few other places. So we're going to go through that list first. If that list answers one of your questions, great. Any of the questions that we didn't answer from that list, we will go into the super chat and then begin answering those. So hang tight. We're going to do as much as we can. Matt Winter has been generous with his time to join us. So if we want to bring Matt Winter in, everybody give a warm welcome to Bronco Brand Manager Matt Winter. Matt, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate you taking the time to talk to the community firsthand and answer some of the questions that they have. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here and try to answer as many of these questions for customers as I can.
Perfect. Well, Laura, thank you so much. I will turn it over to you, Laura, and we'll get right to it.
Yeah, thanks for being here, Matt. Jason, if you wouldn't mind pulling up the ford.com/support, and we'll just go over a couple of these things that I've seen some sticking points with, and we'll have Matt ask a couple of these. So the one page that you guys want to focus on ford.com/support is the Bronco order modification private offer FAQs. A little bit of mouthful of title. There's one kind of similar for the transition, so you'll just click on the first one in the link. And then what this goes over is what we just detailed. Again, you are being offered $2,500 to switch to a different setup on your order. All of this is under the principle of trying to get orders built in 2023 while under price protection. So Ford switched to private offers this year, and those will expire at the end of this year. So from our understanding, Ford's just doing its best to get these orders out the door while you're still under some savings. So between the $2,500, your private offer, if you're eligible for one, any of these options that you take off your vehicle, again, the constraints are the Mick Hardtop, the Sasquatch package, Lux package, and then Wild Track is constrained as well. If you take these things off, you're eligible for the $2,500, or if you decide to cancel your Bronco order, there's also a $2,500 credit that goes to select vehicles, and you can either purchase those in stock off a dealer lot, any dealer lot, or you can order with a dealer as long as you cancel your Bronco order first. So we can if you haven't read this over yet, you can go to ford.com/support. You can follow along with us, and then I'll just be pulling a couple of these from the list that I'm seeing issues on. We'll ask Matt, and we'll keep going with these. So thanks, Jason, for showing that. We'll flip back to the other screen. So Matt, one of the things that I see the most, not the most, but I've seen a lot of there's a lot of reading into is the idea that this was given to select customers. Under one of the questions, it says select customers with a 2023 unscheduled Bronco will need to make these changes. Can you clarify that select is just people with these on their order, or what does select mean?
Yes, sure. For the select customers, it was not singling anyone out. These are customers who could benefit from this offer, and that's why we wanted to offer this to them. And it's a pool of existing customers who had to convert their order into 2023, and we know they've been with us for a long time, and we wanted to do everything we could for these customers to help them get their Bronco in 2023.
Thanks, Matt. So another one that is difficult for people right now on the website is if you're switching from a wild track, you're given the option to go to several different trims. If you have these options on, say, a base, you have a base Sasquatch with a hardtop four-door, can you switch out of these, go to a different, remove them from your order, switch out of that trim, go to a different trim, and still get the 2500, or is it only eligible for the wild track to move out of their trim to a different one?
It's only eligible for the wild track to move. So if you have the three items, the molded in color hardtop, the Sasquatch package, and the Lux package, and you were to remove those, you would get the $2,500 rebate. If you want to shift your trim, that's a different change, and it's not related to the customer private offer change incentive. So that's not something that's not possible for those customers. It's just not tied to this incentive. Wild Track is the only one, and that is because Wild Track comes standard with Sasquatch, so you could not remove Sasquatch without removing Wild Track.
Okay, thank you. And then for Heritage, Heritage Limited Edition, which obviously customers cannot order, but Everglades, Raptor, do they fall anywhere in line with this $2,500 incentive?
They do not. For the same reason that Wild Track is a unique case, and Everglades are all standard Sasquatch vehicles, so we are unable to remove that package from the vehicle, and therefore they would have to switch into a different series entirely. Those products are a little bit different, and we have not included them in this private offer incentive. Again, back to a select group of individuals who can benefit from this change incentive.
Okay, and then the other main question coming right from the FAQs is if you have a four-door model, obviously a lot of people want to keep the Mick hardtop. That's been a point that many people are offer. Goodness, it's what people want. They want the Mick hardtop.
Yes.
You cannot switch from a four-door to a two-door, get the hardtop, remove Sass and Lux, and still get the credit, correct? Four doors cannot go to two doors for this reason?
Yes, that is correct. If you have a two-door, you're allowed to remove the content. If you have a two-door Wild Track, you can move into a two-door series of another vehicle, but you cannot go from a four-door into a two-door and only remove the Lux package and Sasquatch.
And you could do that if you don't have a VIN. You're just not eligible for the credit, correct? Like people are still able to switch from a four-door to a two-door at this point, if just without the credit. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Customers can switch as they were able to before, always, and talk to their dealer about what those possibilities are, but they will not be eligible for this credit. They would be leaving that $2,500 option on the table.
Okay. So if you guys have any more questions on those FAQs, or you want to point your dealer to those, or just be able to look at those over again, those are listed on ford.com/support. And most of those are straightforward. Those were just some ones that we've been seeing in the forum, some specific questions about. Now, like Jordan said, we do have a list of almost 30 questions that we've collected over the last couple of weeks that we're seeing come up on 6G and Bronco Nation. So we're going to try and just hit these one after another, and then we'll move over to the chat. So and by the way, for everybody who wants to go back and look at any of these or hear answer again, usually by tomorrow I have the video recapped with timestamps, and I'll put the questions in there so that way you can read through the article and click back into a certain spot and not have to thumb around looking for it. So Matt, COVP, so the deadline for that was yesterday. How much does that affect or should have been done for orders to receive this credit. Is there anything that customers need to know at this point now that we're past it?
Yeah, customers will need to go through the COVP process. Their dealer can guide them through that. And we understand that we have asked customers to do this in the past and had dealers help them with it before. But each time we do this, we verify the information, we make sure everything is current, and that helps ensure that your certificates are loaded and the whole process is as smooth and transparent as possible for the customer. So if they haven't done the COVP process, get to your dealer, try to do that as quickly as possible, so we can make sure that you're able to take delivery of your vehicle and claim all your incentives in a timely manner.
Okay, and if any of you guys aren't aware of COVP, I have an article up on Bronco Nation. It's about, I think, the second one down, called What is COVP for Bronco? And it lists some of the details that you need. Again, signed buyer's order. Your dealer needs to upload your driver's license, copy of it, and some additional things that will help do exactly what Matt just said. So if you have any questions on COVP, you can go over to thebronconation.com, and that is on the news page. Next question is, a lot of people are still having trouble with private offers and having their dealer being able to look those up. A lot of people are calling Ford customer support, and they're either saying that they can't find one, or it ends up, it is there, it's just under a different name or a different something in COVP. So can you, and when they're looking up in Smart Vincent, can you go over again what people can do to locate that private offer, please?
Yes. If you're unable to find your private offer and your dealer's unable to assist you with that, the dealers have a process where they can contact us on the brand team, and we are able to generate a certificate. Normal turnaround for this is about 72 hours. We try to go as quickly as we can, but it takes a little bit of time for it to process through the system. So if your dealer is unable to find that, they have an option to contact us, and we can get that corrected. As there's a lot of people whose information has changed over the past couple of years. We're trying to stay current in all of that, and that's why it is important to verify those orders to make sure everything is current and you can get that incentive as quickly as possible.
Thanks, Matt. And is that, how did those come? Like, I'm seeing some people saying they're getting them off the purchasing price. Some people are getting them as a rebate from their dealer. Is there one set way that those are supposed to come, or is it up to the dealer how they apply those? Can you speak to that?
Yes. Each certificate is going to be a little bit different. So the change offer incentive will go through the process a little bit different than the model year transition private offer that customers received. So each one will be treated a little bit differently, but don't be alarmed by that. They just have to come from a little bit different area to make sure that everything is good. And one of them being a price protection like incentive, and one of them being a change incentive does impact how it would appear on the statement.
Okay. And for those of you whose dealer is having a little bit of trouble, or they are just maybe unsure of how that comes out, Ford gives the dealers the money back for the private offers. It's not coming out of the dealer's bottom line. That will be restored to the dealer. Matt, does it take a certain amount of time, or is it, again, individual case? But that does go back to the dealer.
It takes a little bit of time. It's not instantaneous. But it's pretty quick and goes back to the dealers. So it's coming out of Ford's pocket to make sure that the dealers are well as the customers are getting a fair price in what they negotiated.
Okay, thank you. So then flipping over to the idea of, if you are not scheduled this year, your order will be canceled. I know that was alarming to some people. People have until March 7th to make these changes and be eligible for the $2,500 credit. Some people were assuming that if you did not make these changes, you would be canceled after March 7th. Now, we got into a discussion in the forums today. It's a little nuanced. So maybe if you don't make the changes, you're effectively being canceled because you will not be scheduled. But Ford is not wiping the books on March 8th or anything like that. That comes at the end of the year when 2023 scheduling is completed, Matt?
Yes. So the deadline for the change incentive is March 7th. So you need to take action by then if you want to claim the incentive. If you choose not to, that is an option. I would recommend that you talk to your dealer to try to figure out where you are in line and the possibility that you might need to change one of these items to get the vehicle within the 23 model year. But we are not going to be canceling any orders or wiping the books on any of the 23 model year orders after March 7th. That is just the deadline to claim this incentive.
Okay. And also, everyone, if you go ahead.
1 second. So to be clear, if you are not scheduled for 23 model year, you will be canceled at the end of 23 model year. Is that correct?
Yes. If your vehicle does not get scheduled for production in 23, your order will be canceled, and you will have the opportunity to place a new order in 24.
Okay.
And you lose your original timestamp reservation, all that. It's kind of like everybody starts on equal ground, so to speak.
Yes. If your order does not get picked up for production in 23 and you have to go in the 24, the order will be canceled. You'll have the opportunity to place a new order for 24, but your timestamp, any of the information from before will not carry over, and your deposit will be refunded.
Perfect. So the deposit being refunded.
Laura, can I build on that really quick?
Yeah, of course.
Because I see a lot of these questions. Thank you. So if you make the changes that Ford is requesting and then Ford doesn't build it, will that also be canceled? If you make the changes, is that a guarantee that it'll be built in 23? Or is there still the possibility that if you make the changes, it could be canceled at the end of 23?
There's still the possibility, unfortunately, if it doesn't get picked up for production. That's why it's good for customers to have that conversation with their dealer, figure out what position they are in the queue with that dealer. They should have a good idea of what their order bank looks like at that dealership, and they can help inform you make those decisions. If you need to remove some of these commodities to improve your position, or if it's something that you don't need to change because you're one or two in line, those kind of things. So having those kind of frank conversations with the dealer will definitely help customers understand the decisions they're making and give themselves the best possible chance for getting scheduled in 2023.
And that's an important
thank
nuance.
you for the transparency and the honesty in that. We really appreciate it. I know a lot of people have been asking, so we appreciate the clarity on that. No, it's not the answer you guys wanted to hear in the chat, but at least you have an answer on that now. So, Matt, we appreciate the clarity.
Yeah, and going along with that, I was watching Tim Bart's live stream with Sarah last night, again, Long MacArthur in Kansas, and they are almost all the way through their customers who have ordered Broncos, and they don't feel the need to encourage those customers to switch out just because their scheduling is almost complete. So it is very important to talk to your dealer. Your dealer may need to dig up some commodity reports, or I'm not sure exactly how Ford delivers those things, but all dealers have this information, Matt?
Yes, dealers have access to this information, and if they don't, they can always contact us at the brand team, and we can help them make these kind of decisions or provide them information to help inform customers about this. Some dealers are in situations where they have enough vehicles in their inventory, they know what they're going to be getting, and their customers might not need to make changes, or only one or two of them might. Some dealers on the other side of that might need to have a hard conversation with a few other customers about removing Sasquatch, Lux package, and molded in color hardtop from their order. But that does come with the $2,500 change incentive. So it's imperative that if they want to take advantage of that, knowing that it's the best opportunity they're going to have for making sure they get scheduled in 2023, then they need to make sure that happens by March 7th.
Thank you. So it did seem, especially when the news broke, it did seem very ominous. And I'm not saying that this is not an urgent matter for you to consider. Like, you really do need to get to your dealer, but knowing that your dealer is the one who will be able to tell you basically what your chances are of being scheduled is, I find very valuable. And I hope you guys are at dealers who will be able to honestly discuss that with you and tell you your place in line. Obviously, allocations have been an important part of the Bronco launch, and just knowing where you are in your order spot, how many they expect to get, and then again what their mix of orders are will help you make a more educated decision. So if you are really intent on having one of these and you are okay with giving up the $2,500 offer just because you want to see if you can get your vehicle built, make sure you have that convo with your dealer. I know it is going to be hard for you guys, some of you guys, to get that information, but hopefully if your dealer is able to be transparent, you will be able to make a more educated decision on what vehicle you could end up with. Going back to the $100 deposit being refunded, Matt, if they don't get scheduled in 23 and they end up being canceled by the books being wiped, will they still receive their $100 deposit back at that point?
Yes, they will. The deposit's refundable. Ford's not holding that money or anything like that, so we don't stand the benefit from canceling any orders. We want to see as many 23 Broncos get produced as we can. But if you need to cancel your order for any reason, we understand. You will get that $100 deposit back.
Okay, thank you. This one I did not see in the FAQs. Obviously, you have until March 7 to receive the incentive. How long does the incentive last for if you're purchasing, or how long do you have to use it if you're purchasing an in-stock vehicle or you're ordering a 2023 Ford? Is that public knowledge anywhere, or has that been given out?
So the incentive will be available through the 23 model year. If you were to make the choice to cancel your Bronco order and order a 2024 vehicle, or take delivery of a in-stock vehicle that is on the dealer lot currently, then you would be able to claim that. But knowing that if you were to place a new order, it might not come in immediately, we're not going to put any restrictions on that kind of time, and you have to take delivery of a vehicle in the 23 model year.
You do have to take delivery in the 2023 model year to get that, did you say, or you don't?
You have to. You do for a 23 model year vehicle. So
okay.
I'm not exactly sure when your vehicle would appear. So if you get it towards the end of the year, but as long as it is a 23 model year vehicle, you're good.
Okay, thank you. Can you use the $2,500 credit on a vehicle that is Ford Blue Gold certified, so basically a used Bronco or one of the eligible vehicles on the lot, or is it strictly new vehicles on the lot?
It is strictly new vehicles. Unfortunately, no used vehicles are included in this change incentive. So your options would be to take delivery of a 23 model year in stock vehicle, order a 23 model year vehicle, or order a new 24 model year vehicle.
Okay. Next one is, can you, and this is in the FAQs, but just for public knowledge, you can use the $2,500 for a different Ford vehicle, including Bronco, in stock at any dealer, correct?
Yes, if you elect to cancel your order, you can take that $2,500 change incentive to another dealer, wherever you might be able to find one. We want to give customers every opportunity they can to get into the Bronco that they want, and they can use that to purchase an in-stock unit from that dealer.
Okay. And so, again, you guys who are listening, the process is to cancel your Bronco order, and then you will be given the $2,500. Obviously, if you find one in stock on a lot, they do go quickly. Matt, you just said that there's not quite, it might take a minute to get the incentive. There's no, like, you get it a day later or 72 hours, or is there any way that customers can kind of expedite that to get one of those in-stock Broncos, or how does that look?
They would have to go through the process of claiming that certificate, which would be going and working with their dealer, making that selection to cancel their order and claim it to purchase another vehicle. And that process can take a little while. So we will work through as fast as possible, knowing that. But just work with your dealers, trying to be as transparent as possible with them about what your goals are here, and we'll try to get that certificate and all the information to you as quickly as possible.
Okay, and this is just coming to me now, so I'm not sure if this is even like anybody else's question, but if you cancel with a dealer and you're gonna your Bronco order, but you want to go shop at a new dealer, do you still work with your original dealer to get the $2,500, or can your new dealer look up that
The
2500?
new dealer who would be selling the Bronco to you will be the one that would look up that certificate number and apply it to the purchase of the new in-stock Bronco.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Thanks for clarifying that. Okay, next question is I currently have a base Big Ben Black Diamond Badlands on order with one of the constrained items. Can I switch trims and still receive the $2,500 offer? You did answer that. I just want to make sure that I got that one. I guess I would cover that one already. Next one then is
Can you clarify that answer one more time, Laura, just for people that joined?
Yeah, I'll let Matt take that one. So
Okay.
if you are trying to move out of one of the constrained items and you're on a base or anything other than Wild Track, can you remove Mick, Sasquatch, or Lux, move to a different trim and get the 2500, or no? It's only for Wild Track.
For the incentive, moving out of the trim only applies to Wild Track, and that is because of the Sasquatch being part of Wild Track always. For the other ones, removing the 3 items, the molded in color hardtop, the Sasquatch package, and the Lux package, will make you eligible for the $2,500 incentive for changing. If you want to also change trim, that's not related to this incentive program. There is no benefit or bonus given for people who move trims, and trim changes will be treated as they've been treated in the past.
Okay.
And do you have to remove all 3 constraints or just one of the constraints? Mick, Lux, and Sasquatch.
You have to remove all the constraints that are on your order. So if you
All
only
3,
have
okay.
the one, but at the end you can't have any of those. Some customers
Okay.
might only have 2, but you have to remove the 2.
And for people
So
who
if
aren't
you're
joining
so
or
if you're
just
in,
joining,
so if you're below Outer Banks, it doesn't apply because you can't even get Lux on anything below Outer Banks.
Yes.
Okay.
but you could have a hardtop, or you could
Yeah,
have
and
Sasquatch.
Yeah.
So it's removing what is possible. So anybody who just joined too,
Yep.
if you have a 2-door, obviously you're not removing the hardtop. So you just need to remove Lux or Sasquatch if you have that on your order. So 2 doors are exempt in the hardtop because of that reason. But you do need to remove the other things. And also if you're just joining Heritage Limited, which you can't order but is part of this, Raptor, Everglades, you are not removing pieces of this either. It's specifically Wild Track or anybody in the other trims that can remove it. That's not the ones that I just listed. Is there? What is the constraint on the Black Diamond? That one's not listed, and the ability to switch from a Wild Track. Is there a reason why?
It's just trying to maximize the potential for customers. We looked at what each series had, and we didn't want to create unintended consequences. So based on the numbers that we were seeing, providing the options to move into the Badlands, the Outer Banks, or the Big Bend provided the most opportunities for customers who want to claim this incentive.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because we don't want to see a bottleneck because everybody switched to Badlands then suddenly, and now Badlands is constrained. For someone who wants to switch from a Wild Track to another trim, if they were eligible for a private offer before, will this affect their private offer?
It will not. These are 2 separate programs, as I said before. So claiming this incentive, changing out of it, does not impact your model year transition private offer. That is separate, and you'll get to keep that, as well as the $2,500 if you elect to make one of these changes. And with moving from a Wild Track into a Badlands or an Outer Banks, there's also the price difference between those units. So customers could be looking at a substantial savings that they could apply to aftermarket accessories and really build the Bronco of their dreams out of this. So we're trying to provide those opportunities to customers.
Yeah. I'm going to take a second to pontificate, but I did want a Badlands with Lux and Sasquatch. I have a 2-door with a hardtop. The one that I found one used because I came into the game late and I knew my job is to write about delays, and for 2 years, we've seen what it is. So I picked up a used one. I thought I was going to be bummed out without having the 360 cameras. I wanted that heated steering wheel in Michigan. I wanted Sasquatch, but the reason that we all do this at Bronco Nation on this team here is because we want to have fun with you guys with your Broncos. And again, this is not the choice for everybody, and I'm not saying you need to move into this, but if you've been thinking you need to have a Bronco in a specific setup to be happy, this is just my personal experience, and people have been asking these questions in the forums, and this is where I'm going with it. If you want to know what it's going to be like to run a soft top versus a hard top, or if you feel like taking Sasquatch off isn't that bad for a Badlands because you're basically already at Sasquatch package minus a little bit of difference in height and obviously the tires. Ask those questions in the forum, and you may find that you are able to enjoy a Bronco this year. I know that's not the answer that you guys want. I just want to tell you guys from personal experience, I've been extremely satisfied with just being able to get out with you guys in a Bronco. And I'm finding out that the things that I thought I needed, I'm getting by without. Again, I know you guys have been waiting. I know it's awful. If you have had your heart set on something, but just kind of putting that out there. Ask people in the forums what it would take to do just what Matt said. Like, what's it going to take to get my base to a Sasquatch type level now, and find out some of those questions to see if it does make sense for you. If you have already talked to your dealer and they are encouraging you off those things. You guys didn't ask for that, but those are just my thoughts. Moving on to more questions. If someone with 2 orders for the household, if someone has 2 orders in their household, can they cancel one order, use the $2,500 credit on another 23 model year order? Somebody ordered a Badlands and a Wild Track. Their Badlands is built and pending shipping. They want to cancel the Wild Track to use the $2,500 credit for an off-the-lot purchase. But they're not sure if they can use the cancellation on another vehicle like that.
Yes, as long as it is a in-stock 23 model year vehicle, 22, or new Ford, or they want to place an order for a new 23, 24 model year Ford. Some exclusions do apply, so no Raptors, no Shelbys, no Mach 1, unfortunately. And those are all listed in the FAQs. But that is definitely doable depending on what vehicle they want to order. They could cancel their Bronco, claim the $2,500 change incentive, and apply that to the purchase of a new Ford vehicle.
Okay, thanks, Matt. Going back to ordering real quick, one thing that I've seen that's just, I love that about the community is, especially over on 6G, I've seen people looking for an in-stock Bronco just because they're not sure where they stand in line, or they're already at a dealer with, it's not going to happen with allocations. And both on our forum and then on 6G, there's people banding together to find in-stock Broncos at a good price without a lot of ADM for people. So that's another excellent use of the forums. You're not asking the people to do the work for you, but some of these people are banding together just to get people Broncos. And one of the ones that we'll flash at the end is someone who made this choice to go look for one on lot and pick it up, and then they have a little bit more time to understand their decision here too. So make use of the community. Everybody's here to help you, and there's some great ways to be able to find what you're looking for, because again, we understand that this is disappointing news, and I'm sure Ford clearly understands that too. Okay, back to questions. Someone's asking about the total outstanding orders Ford has. Last night on Tim's live stream, he calculated about 37,000 outstanding Broncos as of last night. Matt, do you have a number?
We are working really hard on decreasing those outstanding orders, and we're trying to provide these incentives to help people get through that so we can work through those. And we want to minimize that as much as possible. But we are making substantial efforts in 23 to really clean up that order bank, determine what vehicles we can build, and then provide those to customers as quickly as possible.
Okay, thank you. I see some questions specifically that I had pulled over the weekend about capacity for various constraints like the hardtop and Sasquatch and Lux and what they can build. Do dealers have that information, Matt? I know we just talked about what they have. They know that what their orders are and what they can get through, but do dealers have that information from Ford on commodities, and is that something anybody can access if they go to their dealer?
Dealers have different types of information, so they should know what the amount of certain commodities that they'll be getting are. So they're not necessarily going to know totals and things of that nature, but they should have a good idea that they're only going to get a certain number of hard tops in or a certain number of Sasquatch packages, based on some algorithms and things like that that calculate it. But they should be able to give customers a good idea of where they are.
Okay. And again, if you guys are just joining, your dealer would be the best one to get that information from, because Ford could say they have X amount of hardtops available that they could build. But if your dealer is not able to get allocated one of those, it kind of doesn't matter what Ford has, if that makes sense. So again, talk to your dealer, see if you can get that information from them, and then you're able to kind of make a better educated decision on what you need to do with this one. One more question we have is, will Ford keep the dealers apprised of progress in customers taking the deal? Yeah, I'm seeing a lot on the forums. There's polls going and people saying that they're not going to switch and they're hoping everybody else switches so they don't have to. There was a lot of scheduling the last Thursday, and I know that was for, it was specific trims. I think it was bays, Badlands optional, wheels, Heritage, Everglades. I'm not sure what's getting scheduled tomorrow. I think it's more of the same, but in the weeks leading up to March 7th, will there be an update on kind of like, oh yeah, we're seeing a lot of people switching and you might be okay, or is that not going to be information given out?
Is there going to be a soft top
We're
shortage
not going
in
to share.
August?
We're not going to share that level of information. We are tracking it closely, so we have a better understanding of where we are with some of these constrained commodities, and we can help customers make informed decisions. But we don't want customers to use that kind of information to make their decision. We want them to make a decision that's best for them and not just try to wait to the last minute and hope they get in. If they would have been happy if they had removed those commodities and taken the offer and had a different Bronco. So we don't want customers trying to wait around and see how things play out before making all these decisions. Because unfortunately, it's a strategy, and customers are allowed to do that if they want. But we don't think that would provide them the best opportunity to get a Bronco in 20.
Okay. A couple things that I'm seeing, I'm sure Jordan, they're going to be in your things, but are there still constraints on factory tow, modular front bumper, high package, Badland optional wheels? I believe has been what's the word? It's done. And then keyless entry is another one. Can you speak to current constraints? I know 2.7, kind of everything that was always been, but keyless entry and tow have been two that I'm extremely not sure about.
We have capacity on those, so if those are options that customers are interested in, they can add those to their order. We have been making strides with tow package, especially making sure that option is available for customers. And that's just going into, we're working really hard to try to make things available. And as they become available, we will let customers know and try to keep that information out there so they can amend their orders appropriately.
Okay. Everybody listening, I've got about 6 more questions and we're going to get to the super chat. So thank you for your patience. Hopefully some of you guys are getting your questions answered right now. We're just trying to get through as many as possible that we've seen out there on the internet. But Matt, can you speak to anything about the dealers who had hundreds of orders left over and not the allocation to cover it? There was leaks from those dealers saying that they're going to get some borrowed allocation. Not so much leaks, they're explaining it to their customers to move. Ford has offered to let them borrow from 24 to move some of these orders that they took so many in for to get them built in 23 under price protection. Is there anything you can tell us about that situation that might help people make a decision or get their order?
Yes, we work really closely with dealers, trying to create the best possible environment for customers to get their Bronco in 2023. And we are providing dealers Broncos for those customers who have been waiting. We want to make sure that they don't have to wait any longer than is necessary. So we've worked really close with them to make sure they're going to get enough Broncos in. Unfortunately, due to the constrained commodities, Lux Package, Sasquatch, multi-color hardtop, they're not going to be able to get all the Broncos and all the commodities in. So that's why we had to make this incentive for customers. So we have enough Broncos to go around, just not enough of those commodities at the time.
Okay. And I've seen this one in the chat, though, too, already. There's still not an option at this point for people to switch dealers. I know that was there was a small window. I don't remember when, but some point between, I think, either 21 and 22 or 22 and 23. Can people switch dealers at this point without with keeping their order, not canceling one? Okay.
Yeah, we're still following the same rules on switching, so those small windows are still the only time that we're allowing customers to do that. And most of these orders are older orders, so I think they would be outside of that.
Okay. If people are unsure if they're outside of any order, do they contact Ford customer support, or where do they find out more information on that?
Ford customer support, their dealers should know if they feel comfortable talking to them about that. And the forums probably has some great information as well about how to switch dealer, if that's an option the customers want to look into.
Okay, thanks, Matt. A couple more questions. So it has been shown by dealers that order banks will open for 23 March 27th. I don't know if Ford's made a official statement publicly on that, just past what dealers have shown, and if that will hold. Do you want to comment on that first before I move into the second part?
There's a lot of speculation out there. I would say until you hear it directly from Ford, don't believe all the rumors or try to make plans based off of what the rumor mill and the forums are saying. So there's still a lot of calculations, things going on behind the scenes, trying to make sure that we can get everyone their Bronco in 2023.
Okay. So I'm going to ask, but will Wild Track be an available trim? Will Sasquatch be available? Will hardtops be available? Can you comment on that?
We have capacity for some of these things, and we're going to try to maximize the potential for that capacity in 23. Depending on the makeup of the order bank, what will be available when it opens, what might be available later in the year. That's really going to be how the production goes, and if we can overcome some of these commodity constraints and production challenges.
Okay, so that was my list of 30 that I gave concerning the whole news. I have a couple more for you, Matt, real quick, and then we'll go over to chat. Any updates on 2023 Raptor production? Are those still cranking out? I'm not really sure what update someone was asking for on this one, but I'm going to ask the question.
We're making as many as we can. It's a popular vehicle, and it is a very wide vehicle with those 37-inch tires. So just moving that around the facility and the plant takes a little bit extra time and care, but we are working as hard as we can to get those out as quickly as possible, because we know Raptor is a huge brand and in demand right now, especially with King of Hammers coming up in a few weeks.
Yes. What year do you guys plan on doing a refresh for Bronco?
Oh, unfortunately, I can't talk about future products or anything like that at this time.
Does Ford Pass Performance count as a future product? Are there any updates on that one? I know it's been announced, but we've also announced from Bronco Nation that there's been delays, and obviously it didn't come in 2022. Updates for 2023?
There will be updates about the Ford Pass Performance app later in 2023, and I'll be excited to share those with everyone later in the year.
Okay. Thank you so much, Matt, for going through all those. I appreciate you just taking those from me, and now it's time from Jordan. So appreciate it, and I'm going to catch up on the chat now while he does that. So hopefully we're getting stuff answered for you guys.
It's a lot in here.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you guys. You have submitted a ton of questions in the Q&A and in the Super Chat. We're going to start with the Q&A box. If you were wondering where that is, it's a little blue box at the top of your screen. If you're seeing another message there that's not Q&A, you'll need to click dismiss on that message, and then the Q&A box will be available. So we'll just jump right into these. Have shipping times improved at all recently? Krause asks that.
Yes, they have, and we're monitoring that situation very closely. Unfortunately, due to some situations that are outside of our control, shipping times just were a little bit longer than average, and we're working to either increase capacity or just monitor those, communicate any delays, and try to improve efficiency at that point. But they have been improving, and I would expect them to continue to improve throughout 2023.
Awesome, thank you. James Alexander asks, my current order has a dual top option with the MIC constraint. How will this be prioritized against the MIC and the soft top orders?
With the dual top, we would have to count that as a molded in color as well, just because it comes with both. So we'll prioritize it in the same way as if you had a full top.
Okay. Michael Neese asks, any chance of Haas 3.0 being an option for Badlands for those having to switch out of a wild track?
It is an exciting idea, but unfortunately I can't talk about future products.
Okay. Rudy asks, recent 2023 Bronco orders that optioned the mod bumper with the steel bash plates are coming into dealers with plastic bash plates. Is this something that you guys are seeing, and if so, is it being addressed?
Yes, it is something we are aware of, and we are addressing that. We've figured out what the cause of that was, and customers who receive the incorrect bash plate will get the correct one, and we will make sure that their vehicle is to spec. But more communication on that will be coming in the next couple weeks as we get everything in place for that.
Copy, thank you. People are asking you to squash the rumor mill with the question of when will retail order books be reopened? When will order banks open?
Yeah, so there are rumors going around. Don't believe anything until you hear it from Ford directly, because we will make that announcement. And, we are getting all the pieces in place before that comes out. So we want to make sure that when it does, we have all the answers that customers need to make informed decisions, as well as we make sure that all the commodities are handled appropriately to maximize production and get everyone Broncos in 2020.
Cool, thank you. This is another kind of building off of that. A lot of people are asking if current orders cannot be accommodated, why open order banks to new orders?
Yes, it's we are able to accommodate a lot of the orders that we have, but there are a lot of different commodities, a lot of different series of Broncos, and a lot of dealers who have don't have those existing legacy retail orders. So we want to be fair to everyone and provide those kind of opportunities, as well as continue making as many Broncos as we can.
Awesome, thank you. Will reservation holders or order holders who opt to keep their orders as is, will they, if they get canceled in 23, will they maintain their place in line if they get canceled and go to 24, or is everyone back to square one?
For 24, we haven't come up with a full plan for how we would go about opening the order bank. But if customers have their orders canceled, their deposits refunded at the end of 2023, it would be a clean slate system.
Okay.
That is to provide customers the most flexibility to make those choices about potential new offerings in 2024, as well as possibly switching dealers or moving things around using the knowledge that they've gained from the process before.
Okay, thank you. Somebody asked, a few people asked, and you already answered this, but they asked if customers remove all constrained options, does that guarantee they will get scheduled in model year 23? And I think the answer to that was no. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
There are a lot of complexity that goes into producing and scheduling these vehicles. The three items, molded in color hardtop, Sasquatch package, and the Lux package, are three big ones, and we're trying to remove those from the equation to make it easier. But there are still some production challenges that we have to make sure we overcome to get vehicles to the customers So we can't guarantee it, but it gives you the best opportunity in 2023.
Okay. Somebody else asks, will any outstanding Wild Track orders be fulfilled in model year 23? And if so, how many outstanding Wild Track orders are there?
There are quite a few Wild Track orders, as it is a very popular and very capable Bronco, and we really like that customers are enjoying it. Unfortunately, we are asking some people to switch into another series of Bronco for customers who would be okay with a Badlands and find that they can still achieve what they want to, have the adventures they need in a Bronco without the Wild Track package, and that will just remove a little bit of the pressure on that system and provide the opportunity for everyone to get their Bronco in 2023.
Okay, but Ford will still build as many Wild Tracks as they can in model year 23?
We will still build as many as we can based on the commodity constraints of the system.
Sure. Tim Bartz asks, will you be able to order a Heritage Edition and or an Everglades when the order banks open up?
I would like to see people ordering as many of the Heritage Editions and Everglades as they can. Those will still have the Sasquatch package standard on those, so there could be some constraints around that when the order bank does open, but stand by for further details as we get ready to make that announcement.
Cool. A lot of hardtop questions. ETA on when customers who have switched to a hardtop may be able to purchase... Sorry. ETA on when customers who have switched to a soft top may be able to purchase a hardtop from Ford.
Yeah, we are still working on that and making sure that we have enough supply. Obviously, the supply and the commodity constraint there are some of our concerns. So we want to make sure we can take care of the existing customer orders that we're producing, as well as provide that opportunity to customers as quickly as possible. So we're working really closely with our suppliers, and we're going to try to get those out to customers as quickly as we can.
I know we touched on this a little bit before. It's going back to switching dealers. If we get unscheduled for a third year in a row because we're with a small dealer with not a lot of allocation, how would I go about finding a dealer with allocation to get a 2024 when I have to order again?
Yeah, I would, if you're in that situation and you're thinking about placing a new order, possibly in 2024, 2023, have those kind of conversations with your dealer, do some research online, talk to the forums, see what other experiences customers had, so that you can make the best informed decision when you place that new order.
Cool, thank you. Do you get your transition incentive offer and the private offer if you make changes or buy an in-stock Bronco?
You get your model year transition offer if you take delivery of a 23 model year Bronco, and you can claim the change incentive if you take delivery of the 23 model year Bronco. If you cancel your Bronco order and purchase a new or in-stock Ford vehicle, you claim the change incentive, but your model year transition offer is tied to the delivery of that 23 model year Bronco.
Okay.
But you can stack those together, but you can't get that 150 and keep your model year transition.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Will the Ford soft top ever be available for purchase separately?
We have not had a lot of requests for that, but I can definitely take that and take it back to the team and see what's possible.
Okay.
There's a demand from
people are
customers.
asking, so you never know.
Yeah, we will make it happen if customers want it.
Maybe a few of you in the chat can swap hard tops for soft tops, and you guys can leave happy. If I have not yet received my official private offer email from Ford, does this private offer still apply to me? My 23 order was converted on time.
Yes, we do have all the orders and certificates, and as it was covered before, some people need to make small changes to that, upload a new certificate. We do try to keep the database as current with everyone's information as possible, but over the past couple years, people have changed a couple things, phone numbers, addresses, things like that. So it's important to make sure that you're doing the COVP process, keeping your account information up to date. And if you haven't received something from us, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily not able to get one of these offers. It just might have been that we were unable to contact you at the address or email that we received.
Okay. Somebody asks, my dealer claims that there is no line and scheduling is 100% random. Are you able to clarify how scheduling really works?
Well, I don't think we have enough time to go into the full process of scheduling. It might be at a master's, if not a doctoral level of teaching, and I don't have a whiteboard with me to explain it. Not that I could probably do it justice, but it's not random. We do take a lot of factors into consideration, and we do really try our best to maximize what we can do. It might appear random to a onlooker from the outside, but we really do have a method to the madness as we try to maximize the number of Broncos that we can produce each month, use as many of the commodities as we have, make sure we're maximizing, especially those critical ones like Sasquatch, Golden Color, Hardtop, Lux Package, to make sure that we don't leave any of those to chance or to get wasted. We want to make sure we're maximizing that. So it might appear random if you were looking at it, but there really is a lot of thought. And the team that does it works really hard to try to deliver as many Broncos as they can every month.
Great, thank you. Will order holders that have removed the constraints as requested be scheduled before the retail order banks open?
Can you rephrase that for me?
Will people who remove all their constraints as requested, so Hardtop, Lux, Sasquatch, be scheduled before order banks reopen?
So removing them doesn't necessarily move your place for scheduling up. It just gives you the best opportunity for getting scheduled in 2023. And the order bank opening date is not going to impact any of the current incentives or offers or existing order holders. We're trying to line everything up as much as possible, but it won't mean that they'll get scheduled before that happens.
Okay. Do the constraints for the Mick hardtop apply to the two-door Broncos?
They do, and they don't. The roofs are similar, but they are slightly different. So there's a finite amount of molded and color hardtops, but the amount of two-door ones that we receive is a finite amount as well. So it doesn't impact the four-door numbers as much, but they're all coming from the same factory, unfortunately.
Is tow package still a constraint?
It is not. We have
great.
capacity there if customers want it. We have worked hard to get as much available there as possible.
Cool. This guy, Spencer, is following up on a previous question. He said, if I have not received the private offer email from Ford, can I assume my Bronco will be scheduled this model year? I guess it's kind of like a correlation causation question.
Not receiving the private offer doesn't necessarily mean that it's guaranteed to get scheduled. I would again talk to your dealer. We might have not been able to reach you, or you might have a special order or unique commodity combination that meant that you weren't going to receive that offer. But I would still, if you want to verify anything, talk to your dealer, find out where you are in the dealer's order bank, and assess your situation and your commodities from there.
Okay. Liz asks, is modular front bumper still a constraint, or a constraint in general?
All the exciting and great features of Bronco at some point are a little bit constrained. We do have capacity on that right now for customers. But again, if everyone orders it, we could, run into some constraints again. But right now, it is not an issue.
Okay. One of the dealers in the chat says Webdo is still warning dealers that tow package is a constraint and warns dealers that they should remove it. Is there a way to... Are you guys able to address that on your end?
Yeah, I can take a note of that and pass it along to the team. Ford's a big company, big systems going everywhere, so sometimes things don't funnel all the way through the system as quickly as we'd like.
Totally get it. Well, that pretty much does it for me from the Q&A section. Thank you all for keeping your questions respectful. And Matt, thank you a ton for taking those rapid fire questions. We really appreciate it. And I know the community appreciate it as well. The people in the chat here really are thankful that you're able to come on here and talk and be a direct line of communication between themselves and the community. Laura, anything else from your end?
Yeah, and this is a tough one. But why no more reservations for 24? What is anything you can speak to on that and the decision to make everybody start fresh if you can?
Oh, for 24, Bronco as a brand is maturing, so we're not going to need the reservation system and that process as we move forward into 24. And we want to make sure that we're starting the year fresh and providing customers the best equipment, the best Broncos, and all the information that they have. So we want to give everyone the opportunity who has been waiting that chance to get their Bronco in 2023. And we believe that taking this incentive, making these changes that we've recommended, is the best chance for doing that.
And I think that is, the note that I want to end on is that obviously there are constraints and there are things that Ford's asking you to do, and some of this is just disappointing. But I do find that talking to your dealer will give you some more clarity on this, and I do think that if you can get your Bronco under price protection, private offer, that would be great. I know that with interest rates rising and all those things too, the amount you can save on it just to be able to have a great vehicle would be fantastic for you guys. I have been a holdout of get what you want and wait for it, but at this point with prices being the private offers ending in 2023, again, I would encourage people to talk to your dealer, make that choice, do what you can, because it does sound like Broncos are being scheduled quickly. We saw a ton of those come through the forums just the last couple of weeks. So it'd be awesome if you guys could get on that list and ask questions in the forums if you guys have more on that. So thank you again so much, Matt. I appreciate your time with us. I know we asked a lot. I know that there are going to be more questions. We do have another live stream coming up very soon, Jordan, don't we?
Yes. 2 more questions for Matt, though.
Okay.
Will Bronco be made into its own brand / subset of Ford Motor Company, like Lincoln?
Ooh. Big questions, big topic. Unfortunately, I cannot talk about that or even ponder what that might look like. But Bronco is a very exciting product, and we're just really glad to have this enthusiast community, people who want to see it elevated to that kind of stature. It's really great to be a part of something like this, and really appreciate everyone who is in the Bronco community.
And last one, can I take delivery without a top?
I mean, we would prefer that you chose the soft top over that. We don't want to see anyone having to really resort to using their washout interior on a daily basis. But we think we provided some great opportunities here to get that Bronco to them, so they won't have to make that decision. But we appreciate people who are willing to do what it takes to get their Bronco scheduled.
For sure. Well, everyone in the chat, we got a couple more things to talk about after Matt leaves us, so don't go anywhere. Matt Winter, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Taking the hot seat, answering all those questions. The community is in the chat saying thank you over and over again, so we know they really appreciate it, even if it's not always the news they want to hear. So thank you for taking the time to speak with us. We look forward to seeing you again soon, and we hope you have a fantastic week.
Great. Thanks for having me. Really appreciate being here and able to talk to everyone.
Of
Thanks,
course.
Matt.
Take care and Godspeed. Okay, guys. Well, that was Q&A time. Again, a huge thank you to Matt Winter for hopping in the hot seat, asking all those questions. People are asking, is Matt Winter going to be at KOH? For his own safety, I'm not going to answer that question, and I actually don't know the answer to that question, so maybe. I'm not sure. But that is a great segue to King of Hammers. I wanted to talk about this before, but I kind of got out of order on the old run of show. King of Hammers is happening in just a couple weeks from now. We are super stoked about it. This is going to be our third year back in the lake bed of Johnston Valley. We have a massive sold-out Bronco base camp ready to go for you guys. We got tons of programming. We're releasing the official schedule momentarily, very soon. But we are going to have drives every day to Bronco Knoll, so you can hop on a trail drive with us and go to Bronco Knoll. On Saturday, we're going to be doing Chase the Race 2, so you can go with our experienced trail guides and the lovely people you see on the screen to follow the King of the Hammers race on Saturday, which will be really cool. We have Jason Shear. He podiumed in the Bronco race King of Hammers last year. Himself and the team from Fox will be coming over on Thursday night to join us for the fireside chat, which will be super cool, really appreciative. We're doing a massive live stream. We're calling it our live stream Super Bowl. On Friday, it is going to be a 2-hour show live from base camp. So if you are at base camp, you can watch it live. If you're not at base camp, you can join us. We're going to have special guests, lots to talk about, lots of fun announcements, live from the lake bed, which would be super cool. Our first time ever doing that. Of course, if you are coming to camp, you have registered and you have paid, and we will be sending out communication shortly for all the information you need to know. We got RVs, we got tents, we got overlanders, lots of cool stuff to do. Meals are set. The food is going to be delicious. We promise that. And it's just going to be a really great time. I'm going to be there. Laura's going to be there. Matt Russell, our other Matt, who couldn't be with us tonight, is going to be there. Unfortunately, London is not joining us, which is sad, and we shed a tear. But it'll probably be for her own benefit, because if you guys have been to KOH, you know that it's a little traumatizing, but it's great. So yeah, that's all I have on KOH. Be on the lookout for information. We'll be doing updates on social, on the website, and all of that stuff. London, somebody had a question for you. Let me find it here in the chat. Y'all have been active tonight. Love it. Where'd it go? It was saying, London, can you design a fun shirt paying homage to this whole debacle? Yeah.
We have some fun stuff coming. So I don't know about this specific live stream merch for this, but we got some fun stuff in the works.
Like the badges that you guys can pre-order starting right now. Click the link in the description. Order your badges. I need to thank Van too. Van left a super chat donation. Van, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Said thanks for having this Q&A. Not a problem. And all of you guys who always join are great. Oh, we got to do community highlights.
Yes.
Community highlights.
Yes,
Let's highlight the community.
Yep.
Intro,
Jason,
please.
if you want to flash up. Community highlights. All right.
Highlights.
So we have so we've got a couple people. We have so many people, honestly, and I'm so thankful for that, for people who have been taking delivery. This one is Lauren B16's Sport. She is not able to pick this up until Friday, but she has been tracking it intensely since its left map. It took a while to leave map. I know many of you guys are still in that boat where you're, I probably wish you were in a boat, but your vehicle's in waiting for shipping, and you're waiting for a rail car or a truck. Does sound like that's still quite a constraint, but her Bronco made it to her dealer, and she will be driving that home hopefully on Friday. So we are so glad that there's another Sport on the road. And then the next one we have is NR Lucas's Cyber Orange Badlands that he just picked up. So he had wanted Cyber Orange from the beginning. It was his favorite color, and then obviously you guys know that
Rest in peace.
First year, yeah, Rapid Red and Antimatter went away, and then the next year we lost Cyber Orange. So he's in the whole situation of having to downgrade from some of those constraints, but he worked out finding one that was close to what he wanted and close to his price, and so we are thrilled that he was able to find that one and enjoy it. And again, I do believe at this point that having a Bronco is better than not, because our whole joy is going out on the trails with you guys and doing fun stuff with Broncos and watching you guys on other parts of the country all meet up. So I'm glad that he has his. He will hold on to his other build, see what happens. But in the meantime, right now, he's got a great looking Bronco, and we're excited to see what he thinks about that one as he gets into the snow and some of those other things that he's planning. And then last one
London,
is
Oh, I am.
London, I hope you're paying attention to the super chat. These guys have some incredible ideas for t-shirts. Cancel culture, powered by
dear.
Ford. I had a Bronco reservation and all I got was this t-shirt. Only Ford can cancel me. Keep them coming. We should actually make one of these. That would be really funny.
I know. It's funny. Sorry, Laura.
No,
Yeah, sorry.
that's fine. I mean,
just had to
this
interject
is
really
about the
quickly.
community. A couple things while you guys were doing that. Tim and Sarah enjoyed your live streams. I've discovered them recently. I know you guys have quite a following over there, and it is awesome if you guys haven't seen those ones to hear specifically from a dealer. Commodity constraints, obviously, as we talked about a lot on this live stream, it's specific to dealers, some of your things, but appreciate the service that you guys are doing to the community there. We all want everybody to get Broncos in some way, and that's what we're doing this for. And then the last one that we had was a Bronco Raptor, and this was the winner of the Fairlane Estates Bronco Raptor that we did the live stream last time for. So this is John Gilbert of Michigan. He has a couple other Ford vehicles in his garage, and now he is driving home in his Bronco Raptor. That's so exciting. I know he tried several years in a row to be able to win from the Fairlane Estates, and I think it's great to see that someone who truly loves these vehicles got it. We were hoping, it never goes to a flipper or anything like that, but John is going to enjoy that one a lot. So many more of you guys have got your vehicles. We wanted to focus mostly on being able to answer your questions on this one, so we do want to do more community highlights and call out a bunch more of your builds and things that you're doing with those trips and trails. But this one was for you guys and getting those questions answered. So
and because we did that, we want you all to
orders.
smash the like button. We want you all to smash the like button. We're not leaving till we get 100 likes on the stream, so we're gonna, if it takes us all night. So I think we have a little fancy like, subscribe, share graphic. Maybe hit the like.
I hope
button,
we're
guys.
at more than at 3. I was at 3 when I signed up.
No, we're at
We're at
39. We're at 39.
All right, I just gave us number 4, so appreciate
y'all's
you guys
t-shirt
being
ideas
here.
are phenomenal. London, we may be able to retire
this
and
is
just
hilarious.
turn over the merch to these guys.
I know.
Save these
We
ideas.
have to get
Somebody
all of our-
asked, does Jordan have his Raptor yet? No, because Jordan has not been contacted by Angela Krause Ford in Alpharetta, Georgia for over 2 months concerning his Raptor. So, no, I don't have it yet because nobody at Angela Krause Ford has called me.
Going back to people not getting their emails, you can contact your Ford customer service and have them check. Some people may have accidentally checked a little do not contact me box on marketing stuff at some point, and I've talked to some people who check that box, and that's why you're not getting information from Ford or your dealer. So if you want to dial into Ford customer support, they can check to see if you're on that list. So some of those people who are struggling to get contact, you may be unfortunately in that boat.
I will say I did get an email saying, like, your Raptor is scheduled for delivery December 7th through December 15th, and I got it on, like, December 18th, the email. So that was fun. M. Peugeot asked Jordan, how do you plan on handling t-shirt allocation? We're not going to make more than we can deliver, guys. We promise that. We won't get you close, and we won't tell you your chance to venture into the wild has come to an end either. We don't do that here. What else?
I don't
I'm trying
like
to
making
see. You guys in the
promises.
chat are amazing. We can deliver on t-shirts.
You guys can all put down a deposit.
Yeah, we'll take deposits. We'll take reservations. We'll let you know in 2 to 4 business years if your t-shirt's coming. Are we just all
Are you
reading
really
the
going to have
chat?
us sit on this until... No, are you really going to have us sit here
No,
till 100?
oh, sorry, no. No, gosh.
Is that what we're waiting for?
Fun. I thought we're just sitting in silence. Allie still wants doggo swag. Oh, my green screen almost fell over. That'd be tragic. Somebody asked, do the badges assume you've taken your trim sticker off? They don't. You don't have to. I mean, we see plenty of badges with scripts. Laura's losing it. Some people take their put their script badges on the stickers. So you can do whatever your heart desires. Put them on your rear quarter panel, put them on your hardtop, put them on your hood for all I care. Of course, they're supposed to go where the sticker is, but you can put them wherever your heart desires. Lori, you look like you had something funny there.
I don't know.
Come
At
on.
this point.
Come
I
on.
was thinking something. No, I honestly don't know. But
Tyler Traveler said, if it's at the rail yard, can you go get it? I literally cold called the dealership today because I'm like, guys, this is ridiculous. It's been 2 months, Angela Krause Ford. And they said, sorry, we have no control. I'm like, I'm going to drive over myself and get it because it's 10 minutes from the dealer, but whatever. Technical Disasters gave a super chat. Thank you very much. And said, thank you for the pink sweater. Alicia loves it. You're welcome.
oh, good.
We are
Lynn-
so
Oh,
glad.
also,
hard
I
on
want to
that
give a
one.
big shout out to 512 Raptor and Bronco Adventures. I met them at Wheeling for a Cause in Texas, and they were kind enough to let me tag along with them. Just the nicest, best people ever. Bronco Adventures is doing a lot in the Pacific Northwest for the Bronco community with events, so make sure you go check out their events. They have one coming up Labor Day weekend in May, I want to say, that we're going to try and make it up there. So check out Bronco Adventures. They have a YouTube channel. Check out 512 Raptor on Instagram. Both super cool people. It was great meeting you all. Hope you all made it home safely. Tim Bartz also gave a donation. Thank you so much, Tim. Yes, Laura, watch your live streams. I tuned in last week, I think it was. Very informational.
Yeah.
And Peugeot said the refrigerator magnets come off super easy.
I like the
And
Badlands
somebody
one.
said, yeah,
I do.
it's nice. I saw a knockoff Bronco Nation hat with the Badlands logo on it at that event. I thought it was
And you don't
funny.
have to agree with me. You already know I have strong preferences on this and that and whatever, but I
On
don't
what?
think that one's too bad. Some of them I don't love. On like Bronco script and stuff, but no, like I mean some of the trims I think look better
Anti-script
than
gang.
others, but
Anti-script gang. That's why we made you guys these beautiful badges, so we can put the script to rest. Anything else from Laura, London?
um
I
Anything
think so.
on your
Yeah.
mind?
just
We added
we'll
some-
follow up with. Go ahead, London.
I was going to say we added some new items to the sales section this week. So if you check
Oh.
the last chance tab of the website, we have some stuff up there.
Oh yeah, that was a major
Talk about
thing.
Did we talk about the member only? Do you want to dive into that? Did I cut you off before
Yeah,
that?
we did.
Yeah, we can go ahead and do that. We
Sorry,
we do have
blew past that one.
yeah, no, this is really exciting. We have had people asking for a while for, specific items that are members only. And so this year with your membership, there are some items in the store that you can only purchase as a member. And we just launched a couple of new items this week. Or last week.
Woohoo.
No, it's all running together. But anyways, yeah, so if you
They're
guys
live.
click on the gear, yes, they're live. But if you guys click on the gear home, you can shop those new items, and it's going to be a really fun section. We're going to add some new things as the year goes on, and have the opportunity to get your member number on some items and some more stuff like that. So we're really excited to expand that as the year goes on.
Yes,
love
London's
my
been
member
working
number
very
and stuff.
hard
Yeah.
on that, and we really appreciate it. Laura, what were you going to say before London?
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm gonna follow up on some more of this. I know some of you guys have still questions on all this. Obviously, we'll report on stuff like the order banks opening and all that when we get information, and we'll cover that alongside everybody else that is able to share stuff and talk about it and help us all make decisions on our Bronco. And then also, I'm still gonna see if I can. I joined Bronco Nation. I knew of Bronco Nation in January, and then I officially joined in March, so I'm coming up on 2 years, but I started following the Bronco launch at the end of 2020. But I'm a little lost on some of those early details. The more that I am on Bronco Nation reporting on the news and the launch and things, the more that I learn kind of little details and nuances. Like I had no idea what allocation was or that it existed even about a year ago. So I would love to go back and just see what happened in those early months came on. And I think I always hear about Ford saying that they were going to do reservation only wasn't there, so I can never speak on that. So I do see a lot that was still in the chat that we didn't cover, or that you guys would like some more additional details on. So stay close to Bronco Nation News. We'll get stories as we can get them, and we do want to make sure that everybody walks away with, knowledge and understanding. And I do see a lot of conspiracy theories going on online about this and that and whatever. So it's just, I just like to find the facts. I'm a little reporter
Scott
here,
Bain
so.
says we need sport merch for us sport crazy people.
Yeah, we have seen a lot of requests for more sport stuff. So London.
We have some exciting sport events happening
Yes.
this year.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, and I can confirm
stay
there is some stuff in the works. So you guys will be the first to know.
Yes. And that the little badge thing tonight was a live stream exclusive only, because we all told you all the other time or online that they were pre-ordering February 1st. So we're giving you guys a little 6-day head start. So if you want to order them and make sure you can secure your trim, make sure you do that clicking the link in the description. Get you a badge.
Yes.
We're almost to
Super
100.
For
excited.
you guys who are waiting to get a
77.
wild track, buy one. It will manifest it for you. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, well, I think that does it. Any final thoughts? Are we good?
No? Looking forward to seeing a bunch of you guys at
We're
KOH.
Yes, can't wait to see you all at KOH. Thank you so much for joining. We really appreciate it. Again, a big thank you to Matt Winter and Ralph Holguin for joining us. If you haven't already, hit that like button and the subscribe button. Follow us on all of our socials. Make sure you are active in the forums. Lots going on over there. Who knows? Maybe you can find someone who wants to trade a soft top for a hard top. Never know what you're going to find in there. But thank you all so much for joining us. It's been great talking with you as always. You guys were great. And you are the reason we are here and the reason we do it for. Rest in peace to Amber. May she fly high. Hope you all have a great night, a great rest of your week. And we will see you at King of Hammers. Take care, guys.
Bye, guys.